Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Approval of the August board meeting, regular session board meeting. Approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion? Thanks, Bob.
Second.
Okay, stereo.
What was the Pointer Sisters? All three of them spoke at the same time. Thanks, Jackie. We'll go with Jackie. Any comments, questions, corrections? Oh, was it Deborah? I'm sorry. I heard you. I thought Jackie did too. Was it you, Deborah? Pick one. Okay, Deborah it is. Thanks, Deborah. Any changes or comments? Nope. All in favor? Thank you. 9-0. And the work session, September 18th, meeting minutes.
So moved.
Thanks, JB. Thanks, Jeff. Any changes or corrections on those minutes? Nope. All in favor? 9-0. Thank you. We are minus committee chairs. So, Tom, you got all the reports.
Yeah, a couple are out of town for a number of various reasons. So the rec committee and each one of these reports were prepared by the respective committee chair. For rec committee, Rick Eccles mentioned that the Loch Lomond drawdown will occur November 3rd and start refilling on March 2nd, weather contingent. There was 8,700 ranger contacts in August. To date, there have been 60 grass carp removed. John Urquhart talked about the archery range is now open, and we are approaching trap and skeet tournament season. One visitor brought in a petition which was given to Roland regarding aquatics classes at Branchwood. And a couple of the many reports noted at Lake Avalon, member voiced safety concern regarding umbrellas for lifeguards to make sure they don't have too much sun exposure. Kingsdale Complex, branches overhanging Court 7 should be trimmed back, and Tenyard Creek had a total of 200 volunteer hours so far this year, with additional work coming this fall. For the Lakes Committee, the Fly Tires Carp Tournament details were discussed. Every effort will be made to increase visibility and participation on this October 11th event. Loch Lomond Drawdown was also discussed, which I just mentioned with the previous committee meetings minutes or notes. And Loch Lomond will come down approximately 6 feet. The boat violation fee was discussed and approved by the Lakes Committee with 2 edits, and this will go forward to the Rules and Regulations Committee in October. For the Golf Committee, extremely hot August did impact golf. Fortunately, rounds are up, primarily on the member side. Range buckets ended the month up also. Divot mix containers have been installed at Dogwood par 3 tees, and they look great. Fall aeration dates have begun. Graham presented 2 options to the board of directors regarding erosion issues at the Country Club number 13. Those will actually be discussed at tonight's meeting. They're pouring new concrete in the tunnel where it is busted up between holes 8 and 9 at the Country Club. We are seeing new seed coming up on Kingswood greens in the damaged areas as we enter in the cooler season, and changes in the height of cuts on tees fairways and approaches and collars will occur in the month of September as we prepare for the winter months. Highlands Zoysia project, Highlands reopened on September 12th. Members will notice that zoysia grass will continue to grow and fill in and become a thicker surface until the first couple of heavy frosts. So that area is improving. And at Highlands, because it's still a little bit of a work in progress, we are charging twilight rates and keeping carts on path. And that's the bulk of it. The minutes are for all three committees are available on the POA's website. Any questions? No.
Did you have a question, Joe?
No.
All right. Yeah. That auction, right, yeah. Beth is celebrating a new grandchild, right?
Yes.
So Tom gets to talk some more on financials.
And it should be,
There it goes.
there. While we're waiting for it to warm up, all of our financial reports are available on the POA's website. It's already going awry with Beth not being there. Okay, August financials. As I mentioned, those are available on our website. You can see revenue, consolidated revenue, so this is water and POA combined. Year to date, or for the month of August, is up compared to budget and compared to prior year, with the water really taking the lead on that. Expenses are also up, and but EBITDA is short of budget and short of prior year. I'll go into more detail. Consolidated revenue year to date, slightly over prior year. Once again, water taking the lead on that. Expenses are up, and I'll go into that in more detail. And so you can see the EBITDA is actually down compared to budget and prior year. Okay, for the POA only, slightly better than budget and better than prior year. Taking the lead is income on property lots. Thank you, Doug and his team. Doing a good job on that. Rebates came in at $24,000. Past due collections at $15,000. RV income, once again, thank you, Doug, up 13. Worse, F&B 24 down. Transfer fees down by 18. Assessments 14, and golf revenues down 14, which is actually pretty good compared to what we've been experiencing year to date with Highlands closing, opening up later than anticipated. Operating expenses were over. Better was for the month. Insurance was better by 58. That was mainly timing. Fuel and oil by 9,000 and permits by 4,000. Worse, employee benefits. We've been hit all year long with medical insurance. That was worse by 110, wages by 79, utilities by 20, and professional services by 17, and maintenance and repairs by 13. So financial performance year to date, revenue worse than budget by $503,000. Bulk of that is golf. If you recall, the heavy rain in the spring combined with the Kingsdale, Highlands opening up late, and then food and beverage is also contributing to that. We are still better than prior year by $423,000. Cost of sales, $106,000 better than budget and worse than prior year by $309,000. Expenses, $304, more than budget and 1.6 more than prior year. And EBITDA is definitely worse by 712,000 compared to budget and 1.5 compared to prior year. So definitely continuing to have a very tough year. Looking forward to getting to 2026, that's for sure. Water, better than budget by 736,000. So when you compare to how we were doing on the consolidated, you can see that the water is really having a good year, which is pulling up the rest of the operation. Cost of sales are up compared to budget and compared to prior year. When you're up on revenue, you're going to be higher on cost of sales. Expenses are up by $392,000. A lot of that is additional meters as we install additional meters because of the growth. And EBITDA is $261,000 to the better compared to budget, and $353,000 compared to prior year. For the month of August, water sales were better than budget by $180,000, and water capital buy-in fees are up by $8,000, and new connections up by $7,000. Expenses, liability, insurance better than budget by 15. As I mentioned earlier, water meter installation material, so additional water meters, worse by 56. Employee health, dental, and medical insurance worse by 35, and we've been struggling with that all year long. And water distribution equipment, 16,000 worse. Here's the pie chart on our cash. You can see that water cash is leading the way with 4.7, water reserves of 1.6, POA cash is 1.2, and POA reserves almost $900,000. So a total amount of $8.3 million. And here's the one pager. You see that we have a number of departments that are performing better than budget, but you can see golf operations is definitely worse than budget, F&B is worse than budget, and general income is worse than budget. Our medical is the leading factor on the general income because it all goes in there. So you can see that we are struggling this year compared to budget. Debt balances are listed there, and the operating or the available cash and reserves, which we covered in the previous slide, is in detail. Once again, all this information is available on our website. Any questions?
Just a curiosity question. Outside recreation is everything but golf?
Outside recreation is Blowing Springs and the marina.
Gotcha.
Everything inside is the, it's the rec facilities, and I realize it's not necessarily inside, but the pools,
Yeah.
the tennis courts, the beach, and so forth. But we call it inside and outside
Okay.
because the
Just
majority of it is the rec facilities.
Gotcha.
Tom, I've got a question. On the medical and insurance, we took a hit this year, but is that something that we would anticipate to happen next year or the year after, or is it just this year and then hopefully it stays consistent for?
So for liability insurance, that is definitely impacting us, and we learned today that our liability insurance is going to go up by 9%. With regards to medical, we are self-insured up to $75,000. We have stop-loss coverage that kicks in, and we've had a number of cases that have hit stop-loss. This year we've just had a tough year. With regards to next year, we are going to have 2 lasers, so that's going to impact next year also.
Tom, have you looked at different carriers and different plans, or any opportunity to maybe put this out for a bid process?
With regards to liability, yes, we do. We have a carrier, so we go out we look at various companies every year, but a 9% increase is not unheard of. With regards to medical, since we're self-insured, that it's our own insurance, so it's not someone else, and it's just our claims coverage, and we're just anytime you're self-insured, you have to be prepared to ride the roller coaster, and we've had a number of really good years where our claims were lower, but this year and the coming year are not going to be good years for us, especially with 2 lasers.
Then, do we have I don't want to get into age groups or anything of that nature, but I'm going to.
Yeah, we got to be careful on HIPAA and so forth when you ask very specific questions.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing I was going to ask is if somebody's eligible for Medicare, are they eligible for our insurance as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So for clarification, remind us, laser definition?
So, we got to be very careful because we're treading into, HIPAA, and we don't want to get into violations. So, let's use an extreme example, and I'm going to talk about myself, even though this is an imaginary. So, let's say that in 2025, Tom was diagnosed with cancer. Okay, that's not what happened, but let's say I was. Then my claims in 25 would probably be pretty high as I go through cancer treatment. Okay. When you have stop loss coverage, they're on the new year, they're going to go through and they're going to do an estimate on how much it's going to cost in 2026 for Tom's cancer treatment, and they're going to laser that. So everybody else that's covered in our plan will be at $75,000, but maybe because they know that Tom has cancer, they're going to say your stop loss coverage kicks in at $200,000 because they now know that, and that's part of the challenge of being self-insured. That's why you have to look over a 5-year period to really determine. Over a 5-year period, we are doing very, very well. But when I talk about the roller coaster is within that 5-year period, you're going to have years that are going to be higher or lower, and we're unfortunately in the challenging phase. So that's what a laser is, and I referenced earlier, we know that for 26 we have 2 lasers, and that usually means that we're going to have take a big hit because of 2. And that's where we get into HIPAA. We don't want to ask too many questions because that would be against the law.
In 2026, we'll budget for those.
We will budget for those, but I always like to let the board know, the good news, and I like to let you know the bad news as far in advance as possible, because bad news does not get better with age. All right.
Anything else? Thank you.
I didn't hear what you said.
We like Beth better. That's what she said.
Yes. Very low.
But the Dodgers did clinch the West.
Yes, they did. We own the West.
Yeah, you own the West. All right, on to open forum. We have two to talk. Remember, you're limited to 3 minutes per property owner. Tommy?
Is this on? It is. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today on behalf of concerned property owners regarding the recent assessment vote and its aftermath. The vote failing significantly short of the required 51% should not be dismissed as mere apathy. It reflects deeper issues in our community's engagement and trust. Many unimproved lot owners who rarely use amenities likely saw no personal benefit in supporting the increase. Meanwhile, Improved lot owners, some of whom no longer use amenities, may have voted no, feeling disconnected from the value proposition. But what has truly sparked frustration is the message from the POA that if the vote failed, user fees would increase. One such issue in the proposed increase of $7 for daily green fees, which represents a 39% hike. While I understand the need to generate additional revenue following the failed assessment vote, I believe this particular increase disproportionately affects the segment of our membership, golfers, those who pay daily green fees rather than through an annual green fee. Based on the current rounds played, daily green fee players contribute significantly more rounds annually than the annual green fee holders. Yet, under the proposed structure, daily green fee golfers would generate approximately $400,000 plus in additional revenue, while annual green fee players would only generate about $75,000 more in revenue. This imbalance suggests that the financial burden is not shared equitably. Moreover, the annual green fee users equates to a roughly $1.50 per round, or a 10% based on playing 100 rounds plus. While daily green fee players are being asked to pay $7 green fee increase, that's nearly 5 times the increase in the annual increase, despite the daily green fee players being among the most active contributors to course usage and community engagement. I respectfully propose a more balanced approach, perhaps a $2 to $3 increase in the daily green fees, which would still generate meaningful revenue while maintaining fairness across golf player types. I believe this adjustment would be better received by the community and would reflect the board's commitment on equitable policy. Thank you for considering this proposal.
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, was there another? Did somebody else want to speak? I'm having a hard time hearing. Yeah. Tommy, I was turning like that because I couldn't hear. I wasn't ignoring what you were saying in case you saw me. Yep.
I haven't come to say anything ugly or nasty. I think y'all are doing great. This is my third meeting I've come to about the same subject. And my first one was about 7, maybe 8 years ago, long time ago. And I brought a newspaper clipping with me. I just cut out of the Gazette. And it was about a group of people who were going around 7 states, and they'd just been to Fayetteville and had took out 20 tons of vines. I walk my dog. My sister and I walk our dog. And I mean, I know it's not an easy thing, but I just wondered, are those people still in business? It's not a business. I mean, they don't charge you or anything. I just wondered if somebody couldn't contact them. Nobody did. And maybe get them to cut some of the vines. I see gorgeous trees. And I do go around with a pair of clippers and a little saw in my car. It's out there right now. But I have a tick bite, so I'm kind of scared unless I've got myself soaked down with the off. I feel that Bella Vista is a beautiful place, but I think that what's going to happen is the trees are going. And there's one down at the tennis office, and that thing, I could be a dozen of them. You know, put me in the place and make a dozen of me, and that would be it. And I have managed to cut around the bottom of it. I mean, I may be just talking in the wind here. I don't know. I'm not blaming y'all for anything, but it would be nice if somebody kind of looked into it. Bella Vista's going to change. The trees are going to be gone. I mean, you see them when you're driving down the roads and the streets, and it's all over. I know you can't help it, I know that. But I just thought I'd come and bring the subject up again. And then the other thing, I just thought of watching the screen here. Maybe you could ask the mayor to cut his salary by a third. And I had something else. Oh, yeah, I did help y'all this summer with my water bill. I had my water going every single day. I live in a townhouse, but I'm by a little park, and I've got a little bit more space to water and stuff. So I did my bit for the water bill,
Thank you.
okay? And listen, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
But I hate to see those vines. They're just going to destroy Bella. If there was just something even, could you just even put it out in the newspaper if you got vines around you? I just went and cut some over by my neighbors because they don't think about it. Just right across from where I live. On Kingsbury, I just went on across and just snipped them.
Thank you very
So I'm
much.
trying to do my duty
Yeah,
to keep
we
this
appreciate
place,
it. Thank you for coming.
okay? Just like y'all are.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Tom?
Any other comments from anybody else? Want to make? Regarding the vines, I'll speak with our maintenance team. Having lived in North Carolina, and you see where kudzu is everywhere, literally everywhere when you in North Carolina. It is a concern, and maybe we could include something in the newsletter or something like that. Tommy, regarding your comments, the budget meeting is coming up the second Thursday in November. I encourage you to attend that meeting. I think that I always think it's important when we talk about increases for golf. You got to keep in mind that it's over a 6-year period. The rates haven't increased since 2020. And so when we talk about whatever the percent increase, it's over a 6-year period, not necessarily over a 1-year period. I think that voter apathy is a significant problem. We even see that with the most recent election for the board members. You see a downward trend, and I think it's unfortunate, and it's going to be a challenge that we're going to have to try our best to overcome. Regarding your comparison of annual increases and non-annual, I'll have to check my math, but I think you're off on that. It's not a $450,000 increase, I'm pretty certain, but I'd have to check on that. And the reason is you're looking at the amount of play that is contributed by annual members versus non-annual members. And I'll have to do a Keller matrix on that one, but I'll look into that, but I don't think that's going to jive. So I do encourage you to come to the November meeting. Also, the increases, they're really across the board. It's impacting boat registration, usage at the gym, everything. And so while the dollar amount that is going to be brought in from the increase in golf fees, we always got to remember that while golf probably brings in the most amount of revenue, it also generates the most amount of expense and is subsidized more than any other amenity. So welcome you to come to November when that discussion when the board will make that discussion, have that discussion.
Thanks, Tom. Real quick.
You said you don't know what the usage is on member play versus annuals?
I do, I just don't know it off the top of my head, but you quoted a figure of $450,000, and I'm pretty certain that dollar amount is incorrect, but I'd be willing to share my calculations with you, but I don't have them with me.
Well, annual members play about 50,000 rounds a year, and the people that pay green fees pay about 85,000.
Thanks, Tommy.
I'm willing to share my calculations. I don't have them with me.
Thanks, Tommy.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I want to make a comment.
Yes.
about what the young lady shared with us earlier about the vines. One of the things I think is important with our subcommittees is that they're getting some kind of instruction because, you know, every golf meeting I've attended, we have nothing but positives about what the courses look like. And I can tell you on number 12 at the Highlands, if you look over on the right-hand side, we've got
okay,
5
left.
trees down by the green, and they're all got kudzu growing right up the trunks, and they're all the way to the top of the canopy. Those are things that these people should be looking for
Yeah.
and sharing at these meetings. And if they don't know what they're looking for, that becomes a problem. So
Right.
I think in the future, it might be nice to maybe have Graham spend some time with that group, identifying things to look for, to help them save those structures that become important to the playability of the course, and for that matter, in any of the other departments. Thank you.
I chuckled because you said 12, and I thought you were going to say something on the left side. Yeah, I need them on my yard, Bob. I get it. Yeah, I got
It's
you.
not that high, is it?
Yeah, no, good call out. Okay. Anything else on the comments from the membership? On to the next.
Next
Are you
one
on screen here?
is, no, we're gonna, next one is the Country Club, number 13. We discussed this at length at the last work session meeting, and this is going to be a repair to this area that has been eroded on the Country Club at 13, and we presented 2 different alternatives, and the management recommends that we go with alternative 1. Unfortunately, it's the more expensive one, but we feel that long-term it is the better choice. So we are requesting $60,000 from emergency capital to be used to get this job done. We're going to be working in conjunction with Village Wastewater. We're actually going to split the expense in half. And they're already seeking all the permits and approvals, and they got the most important or hardest one to get, which is the approval from the Corps of Engineers.
And the city approved that as well today, right there.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
Any further discussion on number 13? Go ahead, Jeff.
I move for the POA to work with Village Wastewater to repair the flood damage caused to Country Club number 13 with the estimated cost of the POA of $60,000, with the funds coming out of the emergency reserve.
I'll second.
Second. Thank you, Kathleen. Now, discussion. Anything else? We've talked at length a couple times, so. Jeff, something?
No, I just think we talked it over very well before, and it's a given that what we should do.
Gotcha.
From the perspective of, yes, it's more money now, but potentially significantly much less money later, is why I would be in favor of carrying this idea forward.
Anything else? All in favor of $60,000 to Country Club, help with Country Club 13 damage? 9-0. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda was an ad, a late ad. This was not covered during the work session. Unfortunately, one of our rec committee members had to drop because of work conflicts, and that's Damon. The rec committee jumped on it, and they took a vote via email, and they are recommending Cheryl Cherry to replace Damon on their committee.
I make a motion affirming the nomination of Cheryl Cherry to the Recreation Committee.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Jackie. Any comments on Cheryl? I know we all looked at her form, resume, whatever, so. All in favor? All right. Welcome, Cheryl.
I'd just like to thank
Yeah.
Damon for his service, and we're sorry to see him go. He was very valuable to us. Wish him the best.
Thank you. Is there anything else before we go to announcements? No, okay. Lakes JAC meeting, next one is October 8th at 2. All these are in the boardroom and live stream unless otherwise noted. Golf JAC follows that on October 8th at 4. A change to the rules and regs and the GM meeting, we're moving that from the 9th to the Monday the 6th at 1:30. And the GM meeting will follow that on the 6th from the 9th at 2:30. That is a closed meeting. Recreation JAC is October 13th on Monday at 4 p.m. Board of Directors work session is Thursday, October 16th at 9. And the regular session, board session, is October 20th at 6. If there is nothing else, we're adjourned.